what if the best case scenario is what ended up happening? Now, I know your brain wants to paint out worst case scenario thinking. It wants to think about all of the eventualities, all of the possible outcomes that are going to hurt, that are going to be awful, that are going to be the worst thing ever. But that's just your imagination getting super creative and your survival instincts going, we have to plan for the worst, so we're just going to stay stuck, or we're going to run away, we're just going to use a flight response, we're going to use our survival skills to not do the thing that we know we need to do. So here's a little hack for your brain. You can just as creatively think about the worst case scenario thinking. I mean, really think about what you're thinking as worst case scenario. It's all made up in your head because the future hasn't happened yet, and the future is anything but certain. Now, you may think you're pretty good at guessing at what's going to happen, but is it that you're good at guessing at what happens, or you're really good at manifesting? And so you manifest the worst case scenario thing happening, and then you go identify evidence of that worst case thing happening. Brain's pretty powerful. And my bet is, and something to challenge you with, if you imagine the best case scenario and you thought about all the ways in which this could actually work out for your own good, the betterment of you, like getting you to a whole other level where you're content, where you're happy, where you're thriving, what would that look like? It requires the same amount of brain power and creative thinking as worst case scenario thinking, but which of those two scenarios has you feeling better? That's really what we're looking for, right? We're looking for everything outside of us to give us an internal feeling. But guess what, homie? That internal feeling is created internally. This little thing here, this little noggin of yours, creates thoughts and then releases hormones into your body to give you a feeling. So if the thoughts up here are negative, scary, fear, then you're going to have that panicked, tight chest, heart racing, panicked, breathing really fast. I can't do it. But if you start to control your thoughts and go, yep, that's one option. What might be some other possible options? Maybe it's better than I could imagine. Okay, let's lean into that. Chances are those same thoughts that are happy are now going to release happy hormones, and you won't feel so afraid. And you get to control your thoughts. You can't control all the thoughts in your head, but you can control which ones stick around and which ones you place meaning on. Because guess what? All thoughts are made up. All things are made up. All meaning is made up. Now, you probably have decades of a cause-effect, so you have created this meaning out of these things happening. So when I hear my alarm in the morning, I'm triggered to think, oh my God, I have to go to work and I hate my job. And then we start our day in a negative spiral with all of those stress hormones running through our body. So we feel stress from the moment we wake up, or we engage in things on our FYP that stress us out and remind us of how awful dating is, or relationships are, or how great everybody else has it compared to me. And so that's the narrative in which we feel our day. And we don't have that many different thoughts because we are creatures of habit and our environment doesn't change, and so we don't get new stimuli. That's why oftentimes you can have a whole new perspective on life when you go travel or you go experience other cultures, because you're getting new stimuli to give your brain some new things to think about. So my challenge to you today is, yes, go ahead, go down the rabbit hole of worst case scenario thinking, but also go down the path of best case scenario thinking. Even journal it out. Give your brain some evidence of how could this be? Because look, there's a lot of highs in life, there's a lot of lows in life, but most of life is lived in the middle. So you're going to have your best case scenario thinking, your worst case scenario thinking, and chances are it's going to be somewhere in the middle, and you're going to be fine. So instead of worrying about all of the eventualities that could come, aka anxiety, why don't we just focus on what's the next right step? Just one. What's one thing that you can do to move towards what you want? What's one thing that you can stop doing that would move you towards what you want? And see if you can't change your internal state by choosing the feelings or the thoughts that you think to control the feelings that you feel. And hey, my name's Tara, and I'm on a mission to create a self-aware army because it's lonely in these self-aware streets.